So we're here at the Blair Road Community Garden. We got lots of activity at the front of these hives. We're going to use a little smoke on these because they've been persnickety in the past. But we are here to bring in some pollen patties and top off the feeder and check on them. This is our second set of hives we've fed in the last couple of days. We've been really pleased that the bees seem to have done a good job this winter. And hold on, let's see if we can see a few of these bees as they come in, because I've seen a bunch coming in with pollen on their legs, which is also another great sign that the world's improving. This is Caitlin, my daughter.
Hi.
Come out with me today. All right, let's see what we can do about feeding them, Katie. Here are the bees. They're clustered in there. Caitlin is smoking them down so we can put a pollen patty on top of the top bars. That's great, Katie. We've laid a couple of pollen patties on top of this hive. This will give them a little boost. Bees seem to be happy. And this will help the colony get a healthy start ahead of the flow. And then we're going to put the second super on, in which we have the feeder, and we'll fill that with sugar water. Here's a hive beetle.
Not a good thing.
I don't know if you can see it. So it's interesting, on this hive, the cluster is in the upper super rather than the lower super, which is uncommon if they've been eating their if they've been eating their stores. They move up through the hive. It just means we'll put this pollen patty on the top bars of the upper super, assuming that the queen is somewhere in this area. That's really it. We've fed both these hives pollen patties and topped off their sugar syrup. That should be the last of the feeding we'll have to do, because the bees will start to be able to take in the nectar flow. One thing interesting to notice is that the hive on the left, with the green top, it seems to be a lot less active than the hive on the right. And that is not so surprising. The hive on the right we colonized last year with a nucleus colony with Italian bee stock as its base genetics, and Italian bees tend to keep a larger cluster during the winter, which can be detrimental if you've got a cold winter and the stores run out. These bees on the left were from our original Russian installation of last year. The Russian honeybees tend to have a much smaller cluster in the wintertime to protect from starvation, but because of our mild winter, we expect, as is generally described about the Russians, for these to increase in size very quickly once the flow starts. And certainly by adding the pollen patties, we should have some stimulating. It should have some stimulating benefit for that colony size. So we'll come back out here again in about 2 or 3 weeks to see what's going on. Hopefully by then the flow will be in full run, and we can see if we need to checkerboard some of these frames to encourage even more brood production. And then we may even get the honey super on, which will then begin to collect some of the surplus nectar. So we'll see you in these hives in a few weeks.